Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, Gamer K, and I'm getting over a bit of a cold this week. So if I sound a little weird, if I cough a lot, or if I sneeze, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. That's the one thing about doing these videos. I can't plan when I'm sick, but it doesn't happen that often, so that's a good plus. This video is I have to talk about Battle Network 4. Yeah. The bane of the Mega Man Battle Network series. I mean, some people like it, and I mean, it's great. But, I find it funny that I'm talking about a game where we fight computer viruses, and I happen to get an organic virus. Sorry. So I find it ironic. The game could have been great if, we had an actual story throughout the game. The main threat didn't happen every little bit. And we did have to replay this game 3 times each in order to get all the battles. Luckily, I never had to do that, considering a good majority of the times when it's the luck of the draw, I managed to fight at least every single tournament boss once each. When I played it on my handheld when I was a kid, and when I got the remastered. I only played Blue Moon. Give me 1 second while I confirm with my trophies. Beat Red Sun on the Legacy Collection. I may play Blue Moon when I get time, and I'm a glutton for punishment. But why am I just bringing this up? Because I thought it'd be a cool idea, because I don't see a lot of people doing it. I mean, I do see a lot of people talk about the best bosses in the Mega Man Battle Network series and the worst bosses. A redux or a redo of my Battle Network bosses list that I did years ago will be implemented sometime next year. Same thing with the worst bosses, and oh boy. Because I had to actually play every single game before I can do that. Actually, I've been doing a lot of redo boss lists kind of this year by going over rethinking some stuff. Ideas change. So anyway, going forward, like I said, the tournament sections are the irritating part of this entire game. The fact that it's random and we have to play the game 3 times and it get harder after each replay, it just made no sense. How did this get greenlit? Like, I don't know how. So, we have, let's see, there's 7 in each tournament. And minus, there's 8 in each tournament, minus Mega Man. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 24. That checks. 24 for every single, in the entirety of the scenarios. Leaving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them generic nabbies, which I don't understand. I mean, I made the comment when I reviewed the game. When I got to the number 4, I made the comment. And that god-awful network transmission game. I've seen it being played. I'm never ever going to try it. They had the other Dark Lords that could have been implemented here instead of these generic-ass nabbies. Like, we could have had, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. So we could have had Gravity Man, Sword Man, Nova Man, Bright Man. Who else? Gravity Man, Sword Man, Nova Man, Bright Man. Frick, we could have also had Spike Man. I mean, I know they changed it to Needle Man in the game, but Spike Man from when it was in the anime sounds so much cooler. I mean, for crap, like, I don't know why they didn't implement those other Dark Lloyds into this. I mean, they gave Bullman to be a side character boss in number 3, so why'd they cheap out? You tell me, why did they cheap out with the rest of the Dark Lloyds? Because imagine a Battle Network fight with Gravity Man, Sword Man, again, all of them. It would have been so much better and so fun. But you know what? I digress. I mean, some of these... And going over this list, I just want to reiterate that I will be going over the scenario of each section. So basically, each character had their own story scenario of we would have to help them in a way, or a story would happen before the fight, and then we fight the boss, and then we move on. I will not be putting into account the boss fight themselves. This is only a story analytical video based on my perspective of each one. And again, yeah, this is my opinion. This is my bias. I'm a little biased when it comes to certain characters, so let's get on to it. And there are 24, so this may take a while if I do it right. That helps. All right, starting off at number 24 on this list. And no, I'm not doing the number like I do in my top 13s. We're just doing the basic, putting the number, putting the character image. I'm talking about it. We'll put an image from the game, and we'll explain it. Okay? Yes, I'm mentioning you. I know you're the one, so we're doing it good this time. Got it? Thank you. Number 24, the bottom of this list, is Jack Bomber. When they add a section into a video game that is completely luck, and you have no actual way of predicting or cheesing it, those are some things that I can normally get by, but this one I can't. This is from the 3rd tournament of the game, and this guy challenges us to a bomber ball, which is basically soccer with an edge in the net. Basically, we use this ball, and then that's electrified. And when we hit said net, the goalie will lose some health. But here's the thing, it's a preset number. And the worst part of it is, guys, you know those HP upgrades that you guys bought that we can find throughout the net? Or is that when we do when we use that custom screen thing for Mega Man Battle Network series? I'm so used to finding the HP upgrades from Mega Man Star Force, so it's been a long time. So if you are very, very under health on this, you are going to constantly die immediately. A lot. Because it does like 108 damage or 200 health each. And we got to do this a good number of times. And what we do is either where we're the kicker, where we have to kick it either straight, sideways, or left or right. And the goalie will try to either stay in place or dodge or intercept the ball. And then we basically take turns doing this until one person is down to their health is completed. Why this was created, I don't know. I mean, there are enough annoying ass bits of this game that are far superior. Oh, actually, if this is the bottom of the list, then this is the worst one, because it is. Number 23 on this list is Tetsu, who kind of has this Batman-esque design. I mean, great character design. I'm not going to lie. I would 100%. You know what? Maybe as an extra bonus, I'm going to put all these generic guys of what they could have done. Actually, you know what? Some of them are just generic characters and everything. Yeah, this guy's got a Batman-esque. Like, he appears on the roof of buildings. He jumps down and he's got this fur lining, a hood, and it's kind of badass. And he is a badass. And he appears out of nowhere. Like, even after our match, he disappears out of nowhere. But as cool as he is, his scenario's kind of lame. We have to go through a gauntlet of enemies. And that's not even a joke. We literally have to go through so many other navies to fight in a gauntlet just to get to the little shits that try to ambush him before. Like, this guy is so cool looking. I would have preferred if he was given either Sword Man or Gravity Man or even Spike Man as a companion, because this guy deserves a unique Navi, not just this generic heel Navi. Like, what the hell? So, yeah. Tetsu's a great design, but his scenario is so annoying and so boring and so mind-numbingly irritating. And this next and 22 on the list escapes being that, because the scenario is actually pretty cool. And 22, we got Ricky and Crusher, who is the generic character type of the bald guy, buff dude, who is our enemy, and he looks intimidating, but he used to be in the gang, or as we're trying to say, the mafia a little bit, because the boss is this old lady archetype who, this guy wants to leave the family, but feels an obligation to the boss because all the other guys want to take the old lady out. And he wants to be a baker. You know, that's an actually weird trope, that a bunch of people who are tough and everything want to bake. That's a big stereotype, and one I actually love. So, Ricky's Navi is trying to help the boss's Navi, and we gotta play a stealth bullshit in a Mega Man game. Okay, who the hell thought this was a good idea? I mean, we have to go through the entirety of the park area and not get spotted by these other navies. We do, and we have to go right back to the entrance, which is very difficult because some of them are under bridges, so we don't see them, are far away on the other platform, so we can't see them. But what's worse about it is that the movements in the Mega Man series are finicky half the time. And unlike in Battle Network 6, where we were doing the Killer Man section, one of my favorites, it actually shows the line of sight. That they can see you. So you can plan. This one, there is none of that. There is none of it, and you are forced to constantly risk your sanity from doing this for about 2 sections. I don't know if it's my cold that's making me sick, or if this video is absolutely making me ill. And then afterwards, the boss kicks ass and lets Ricky go and be a baker. I'm not gonna lie, that's fantastic. Made us go through absolute hell to do it but so I'm even mincing my words. Oh my god. Can we just get to the next one? Oh, right. I think I'm not done enough with this. The other generic one that's in the third tournament, Paulie and Jammer. So this one, we go to Netfrika, which is, again, basically the African area. Wild Plains, I mean, like Africa. But, turns out that the village that we go to has a problem. There's this great challenge where the water spirit, and there's a trial that we gotta do. And then there's a virus in the water system where the water's dried up. And there's this local kid, Paulie, who's a irritating little shit to us and acts a little bit cocky. And then we fix the issue. And then the tournament scene happens. And then after we beat him, he says that we beat him twice. Big shock. Paulie set the virus in the spirit to dry up the water so he and Jammer could defeat the virus and be given praise by the village. But he's a kid, so, you know, they don't really look up to, they don't really revere him as much and everything. Kid. You intentionally almost destroyed your village for a little notoriety. And obviously the kid was dealt with afterwards and everything and all that. Oh, these generic ones are god-awful. I mean, okay, at least the last 2 that I left, that are left, aren't that bad. To an extent. Number 20, Yoko and Ponta, who is this little girl who requests us to free some spirits or ghosts of net navies that are locked in AC/DC area. And we're given a crystal relic where as we get closer to their location, the orb will indicate by changing colors. So, thank you for that. Because if it wasn't for that, this one would be a lot lower on the list, even more than it is. So yeah, majority of the generic ones are obviously on the list because, again, the scenarios aren't that clever. They're not that really well done. With the actual navies and their operators who are actually interesting characters, yeah, obviously they're going to get the better ones. So, yeah, the girl, and for some reason every time we talk to the girl, we look away and she disappears. So after we cleanse the other spirits, and then we do the fight, we find out that Yuko is actually a ghost. and she wanted to have one cool net battle before she moved on. What? I mean, interesting concept. I'm not gonna lie. It's most likely it's possibly not the worst one that we've done in Battle Network, but at the same time, yeah. So we got to cleanse some spirits of net nabbies. Yay! Okay, I am more than likely gonna get a lot of hate possibly in the comments for this one. But let me explain. I'm not taking Boss Battle into an account. Okay? So all you Mega Man Battle Network fans out there who watch this video, this is my opinion, and it's scenario only. Scenario only. Proto Man. Yeah. Our rival. And let's face it, one of the best characters in the entire Mega Man series. Not just Battle Network in general. Although most of the other ones don't really have Chod in those to add. So, yeah, Chod basically asked for our help because he had to fight with Proto Man against a whole bunch of Navis of the Syndicate, of the Dark Ship Syndicate Nebula. And he foolishly used the Dark Chip on Proto Man, where Proto Man got captured, and they're trying to release the darkness within him. So we got to rescue Proto Man. I mean, okay. I mean, why is this so low though? Right next to the worst ones here. The fact of the matter is, basically, we gotta scavenge the entire Undernet area for keys that unlock certain gates before we can get to Proto Man. That's the problem with this. We are given small hints where the keys are, but it is an absolute, chore. Like, anytime we have to go look for something and, okay, yeah, we're given a little bit of information of where to find the keys, but at the same time, it's frustrating having to do that. I mean, this section is not as bad as the other ones because Proto Man is here, and also when they free Proto Man deletes the dude who was trying to release his darkness, which I kind of like. Badass Proto Man. But then we gotta kind of cleanse the dark soul out of him, so that's also good. I'm sorry, but we did it a lot better in Battle Network 5 Team Proto Man. I mean, yeah, we get to do something better than that, so can't blame me for my own opinion, guys. Number 18, we have Flava, the chef guy. Basically, we have to do a net cooking mini game, which really irked me when I was a kid. You have to chop up the vegetables, let the curry go in, let the meat and the curry go in, but we have to knock out the viruses so they don't corrupt our cooking. And this kid, imagine on MasterChef or any cooking show where there's always that young gun who thinks they're the top shit, but they're arrogant beyond all belief, and we have to humble them. That's basically what this is. There's not much to it. I mean, we just get the ingredients from Shop Navi, and then we do the cooking thing, and then we beat the guy in the tournament. Like, there's no, and our cooking apparently makes the taste, the judge see the soul of his dead wife and everything. I mean, god damn it, Mega Man was doing Food Wars stuff before Food Wars. So yeah, I put Flava a little bit higher than the Proto Man one because we're not going around and searching for something that's annoying. So, yeah. Yeah, again, these ones are going to be really quick. But now we're on to some of the good ones. Right after this next one. So, this is a character who has appeared almost every single game, if I'm remembering correctly. And he's been given the nabbies that won design contests, from Punk to Gridman and number 5. And now we have Mr. Famous.
It's just famous, all right?
Okay. Touchy. Famous and Kendo Man, which I love this design. A lot of people in Canada or the US may not know what Kendo is. I knew what it was because of Digimon Adventure 2 with Cody and his grandfather doing Kendo, which is actually really, really awesome. And I love that the whole Navi is just with the whole Kendo suit with a laser Kendo sword. I love it. And he basically asks us, Famous asks us to kind of train, to go speak with Kendo Man, and he thinks we're here to train. So we have to do a mini game where we have to test on cyber dummies in the Netfrica area. And it's kind of an annoyance, but I mean, I know we're not going to, I don't want to talk about his boss fight, but his boss fight's pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Using Kendo movements and moves throughout the fight, I'm glad they went full with the character and they didn't kind of cheapen it with a whole bunch of gimmicks. God, this cold's going to be the death of me. So yeah, Famous and Kendo Man. Great way to end off some of the lesser ones on this list. But now everything is pretty good. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Well, hopefully this happens soon where I am. We got a little bit of I hope we get a lot of snow this year. Just not this kind. Actually, this one is a bit of a snow. You know what? No, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing freaking snow jokes. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the snow and cold jokes. It's Cold Man and his big fur coat wearing guy. I don't remember half of these operators' names, so I'm not even gonna bother. We got Cold Man, which again, I like the scenario build-up. The guy is in where he is, it's too warm. He has all the layers. So he has Cold Man create Cyber Snowman in the area, and you know, tells him to make it change the weather system a little bit to make it a little bit cold, which he does. And then he goes into Sharo back home and creates a blizzard. So, we tell you to stop, you stop, and then you create a blizzard? What sense does that make? So, we got to go to Sharo, but here's the thing, though. When we're outside of the building, our temperature will drop, and if it goes below danger zone, we have to leave and return. So, yeah, that's kind of an interesting context. Then we got light cyber torches in the satellites in order to make them hot again, which we can only do with certain chips of certain letters. So, before this section, I mean, there's a good chance, there's 7 contestants, 3 rounds. So, during your playthrough of the game with Coleman, you got like a 3 out of 7 chance of him actually showing up. But at the same time, continue hoarding those chips, because it makes this go a lot easier, so you don't have to backtrack and go to all those areas with those chips. Just saying. And again, interesting concept, great scenario, but again, not as good as some of the other ones. Next up, we got the one I'm glad I only had to fight once, because it's kind of a sad story of a little robot-looking guy who lives in junk, and all he wants is a little bit of kindness in his life. Okay, why am I describing Wall-E? For those of you who know, it's Junkman. Don't know why they called him Junk Data Man in the anime, but, you know, I don't know. So we're told about the junk that's piling up in one of the areas. Mega Man goes to check it out, gets crushed by junk, and then Lan jacks him out, and he is fine. However, it's really Junkman that's taken over Mega Man's body. Sorry about that. Phone died. Had to plug it in. So where was I again? Oh yeah, Junkman has possessed Mega Man's body. So we got to go back and get him his chip back. His Mega Man's data back. Shouldn't be a problem, except anytime we fight with Junkman in play, we are confused during battle, and our responses are backwards. You want to go up, you hit down. You want to go down, you hit up. You want to go back, you hit back, and all that. So it adds an extra challenge. After we get back to Mega Man, we kind of find out some extra data. We find a kindness data to give to Junkman, but he crushes it, saying he doesn't need our pity. And after we defeat him, we show him a last bit of kindness that we don't delete him, but he gets destroyed anyway. So yeah, kind of sad story for Junkman, being an Abby created in the junk data of the net, which I get. But yeah, great character though, I'm not going to lie. Next,